My name is Soål Kjær, and I'm an artist from Copenhagen, Denmark. I've been working with photography for 30 years. For 25 years, I've been doing portraiture. I have portrayed mainly artists from all over the world, from the world of film, music, and literature. My life has mainly been in the big cities of the world, so I've been mainly working in London, New York, Los Angeles, and Copenhagen, my hometown. But 6 years ago, I shifted my focus. Suddenly I was drawn to the nature that I grew up in back in the 70s in the southern part of Denmark. When I was 10 years old, my parents took me out to the west coast of Denmark, and I witnessed a very large flock of birds that were attacked by a bird of prey. And the way they responded to this attack was very dramatic, but also very beautiful and poetic. It was almost like calligraphy in the sky, or like liquid ink painting in the sky. That image stuck with me, and 6 years ago it kind of came back to me, and I was drawn to go back to that part of the country again and to see if I could find that same thing. And it turned out that it wasn't so easy. I set aside 7 days for this project. I thought it would be a short project. And the first 5 days, nothing happened. But on the 6th day, suddenly I saw the same thing again, and it reawakens almost like the strong connection that I had to nature as a boy growing up. And from then on, I couldn't stop. I started migrating with the birds all over Europe. So I would, during the winter time, I would go up to England, Ireland, and then all the way down through Europe, through Denmark, Germany, Netherlands, Italy, and Spain. And I would slowly develop a big network of people who could tell me where the birds are. And I would spend every winter for the next 6 years just staying out in nature and trying to capture some of these very fleeting images that only exist for a few seconds and that will never be repeated. The 3 pieces that I'm showing here at 21st are from different stages of the project. There is one from the starting point in Denmark, and then 2 are showing the same phenomenon, but in a very different landscape. The first 2 years of the project, I was very inspired by Japanese woodcuts, because the landscape I grew up in is very graphic, flat with some trees. But when I started following the birds around, I realized that they were doing the same thing, only in extremely different landscapes, but also very different light. So I switched also from doing the photographs in black and white to doing them in color, because suddenly the colors of Southern Europe are very golden and beautiful. When they reflect on these birds, the birds become almost red, and that was a fascinating new visual for me as a Dane. I think this exhibition, Dancing with All, is extremely important, and I think it's very the most relevant issue for our time. I have really enjoyed the variety of works, especially also that there's art from parts of the world that we don't see that often. There's a new trend, I think, giving voices to indigenous artists. I saw the same at the Venice Biennale this year. It was also a very big thing, and I think it's very important, especially when it comes to our view on nature. in indigenous art, it's very obvious that they are not, that they are part of nature. They don't see themselves as above nature. They are not the top of the hierarchy. And I think that's the big mistake that we are making in the West, that we just see the nature as something that is there for us to use. I don't really think we understand our place, that we are just a small part of a very big system. My big wish is that many people will come and see all these different approaches to working artistically with nature, and through the power of the artwork to somehow connect or reconnect with nature. I think it's very important that we regain the sensory connection with the nature that surrounds us.